So we're gonna open the heart here. We're gonna remove the auricle, and you can see like the two atria chambers. And now I'm gonna be able to see on the inside. So on the inside, I have these beams of flash, struts of flash here. I tell my students that they look like Freddy Krueger, and those are the trabecula carni. They literally translate into struts of flash. The trabecula carni forms the entire lining of the ventricles. All this here that looks like Freddy Krueger is the trabecula carni. This piece of flesh right in the middle separates the ventricles into two chambers, the right ventricle and the left one. It's easy to tell because of the thickness of the wall. Go from the core to the outer edge, maybe like a quarter of an inch here, to the core to the outer edge, a whole inch here. So this is the left ventricle because of the thickness of the wall. Knowing that this is the last ventricle, it's easy for me to tell the valves that are associated with it. I have this valve here, which is your mitral or bicuspid valve. On the right side, I have this valve here, which is your tricuspid valve. The valves are held together. Those are atrioventricular valves because they are between the atria and the ventricles. The valves are held together by these white strings here, and they're called chorda tendinae. Chorda tendinae. And the chorda tendinae communicate with this hump of the trabecula carni, and this hump is called papillary muscle. So the humps are papillary muscles, and these will be connected to that one here. The only thing left now is that if you get on the opposite end here, you can start seeing the valves that leave the ventricles. So at the top here, I'm going to have your aortic semilunar valve and your pulmonary semilunar valve. If you look on the inside, you can see, again, very easy to tell. This is the thick part, so therefore this is the left ventricle, and you see that this is the blood comes from the atrium through the atrioventricular valve known as bicuspid, and then as the ventricle contracts, it goes way up there in your aortic semilunar valve. On the opposite end, it goes from the right atria through the tricuspid valve, and it goes way up there into your pulmonary semilunar valve.